Hey folks, walk with me. Well, next on my list of how do I know, or how I know, is how I know that the system isn't sort of well-intentioned and meaning to keep America competitive on the world stage. Now, I think that this varies from system to system, but I think in our current situation, the thing that stands out most obvious to me is that keeping America competitive and then helping Americans en masse, right? Not the top 30 wealthy Americans or something, but I'm talking about the 99%, right? All of the middle class, like the huge range of people that are trying to hold the line as the middle class, and people who need lifting up, right? People who are living in a relatively impoverished state, even though they're here in the bastion of wealth. I don't think that the trying to lead the charge or putting forth the presupposition that America must stay competitive because it can bring back all of these components of our society. Most importantly, I think, is the middle class, right? The erosion of the middle class has been something that's been talked about for decades. Seemingly is only getting worse. My next video will be on that. And what we have is a system right now that is really leaning in hard to this idea that we need to be terrified of China, right? China is going to eat our lunch. And I'm not even saying that we shouldn't be concerned that China's going to swoop in and take our position as like a very competitive nation. But I don't think it's for the reason that they try to convince you. So they try to convince you that the reason that you don't want China to come in is, first of all, they're super dangerous and they want to rule the world. But more importantly, that they're going to impoverish you, further impoverish you, whatever. That's not the reason that they actually want to keep America competitive. And they don't want to keep America competitive in the sense of it will benefit the masses. What they're concerned about is continuing to milk this cow. The people who run the systems are the people who most directly and most abundantly profit from the systems, and they're the ones who are seemingly hell-bent on, like I say, continuing to milk this cow for absolutely everything she has. And I guarantee you, I hope that we don't have to see this, but I guarantee you that if the richest folks in the country who are just, in full parasite mode, if they saw a greater opportunity develop in China or India or Russia or Qatar, whatever, they would absolutely tear up everything from here, save that bankroll that they have and move over there and start working with those countries. They don't care about the country. They're going where they can milk the fattest cow. And right now, they see more fat on the cow that is us. And so this idea that we need to take all these steps to keep America competitive, and that the advantage that provides is that we grow the country, financially, societally, whatever. I guarantee you, it is not meant for the betterment and the enrichment of the middle class. When in the world have you seen that happen? And don't forget, the person who's in office right now, if you're gonna leave me a bunch of stuff that like, oh, he's the different one, he was there already. He now has more time in office in the last, I guess say 9 years than Joe Biden did. He has more time in office. So the person who's been there the longest over the last decade or so is the one who is just rapidly different and is gonna save it all, even though he didn't save it all last time. Okay. You will shift at some point. But yeah, I don't think, I don't see any indication other than talking points, other than platitudes, other than slogans and chants and acronyms and things that they think that they can do to point the finger elsewhere and claim to you that they are the solution. And what they really are, the term that's obviously become very popular lately, I haven't checked the Google Trends on it, but it's probably growing, is robber baron, right? These top 1%, we call them in different decades oligarchs, the elites, right? The technocracy. But something that is sort of decades or centuries old that seems to be consistently true and have enough of a grain and a spark of truth behind it that people connect with is this sense of a robber baron. People who just incessantly take advantage to capitalize off of everyone and everything. Any situation that arises, like Rumsfeld said in a different context, but he said never let a crisis go to waste, right? He meant it more in like a policy, legislative perspective. But the power grab that kicked off, actually, Rumsfeld for sure, and that persists today, it has metamorphosized in different ways, but it is the same power grab. And it is the same idea of don't let a crisis go to waste. The purpose is to fleece you, to shake you down. The wealth transfer proves it. You are just ignoring the facts if you insist otherwise. And when in the world the Alex Joneses and the Ron Pauls and these types of folks, when in the world they all of a sudden were just bend the knee and sink all of their trust into the wealthy class, the elites, the billionaires, the technocrats. This says to me many or most of those things that they said were just flat out lies, were just flat out them trying to cash a check, sell more supplements, sell like DVDs, whatever, get reelected. Because when there's an opportunity to join that team, what do? Oh, hopping on board. And then you're going to tell everyone why it's different. We've been screaming about it for decades. So, we're kind of off in left field now. But the fact of the matter is, the competition is not the competition that you think it is. The competition is, how do we keep milking this cow? And I guarantee you, if the cow's milk dries up, or there's a fatter cow elsewhere, the flag and the acronyms and the national anthem and whatever else won't matter an inch. or a centimeter to these people. They will abandon it for profit elsewhere at the drop of a hat. All right, folks. Well, if you walked with me or watched this far, I certainly appreciate it. And as always, I will see you in the next video.